GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon, I'm CJ Waterhouse. A striking night sky mural on a 19th century barn will spotlight Black heritage, while the city braces for heavy highway congestion and bridge lane reductions. Plus, Quebec just approved a permanent roof for the Olympic Stadium. Over to you, Jeff.
The Cameroonian community will host its 12th annual Cultural Day in La Salle next Wednesday, featuring traditional music, dance performances, food stalls, and artisanal crafts for all ages.
Doors open at 10 a.m. and remain open until 6 p.m., with free admission and a family-friendly atmosphere encouraging community participation throughout the afternoon.
The program includes a drumming workshop, a fashion showcase of traditional Cameroonian attire, a storytelling corner for children, and a special guest appearance by renowned vocalist Eddie N. MBA.
That's the Cultural Day preview, and there's plenty more to share on our schedule. Lots to get to, let's begin. Good morning, Montreal.
Stina Bodden broke the quiet of a 19th century barn in the eastern townships just before dawn, spraying the roof with a night sky mural that will illuminate the region's largely forgotten Black heritage. Earlier today, at 4 a.m., the artist applied the first constellations, using luminescent pigments that will glow after dark. Bodden explained that the project is meant to draw public attention to a Black community that settled the area in the early 19th century, yet whose contributions remain absent from most histories. The barn, a historic agricultural structure, was chosen for its visibility along the main road, turning a familiar landmark into a nighttime beacon. Officials from the local Heritage Board have welcomed the work, noting that public art can serve as a visual archive where written records are sparse.
From its office steps near Old Montreal, La Presse is set to trial the fastest route to Montreal Trudeau Airport for a 6:20 p.m. flight to Paris. The team will leave at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, aiming to reach security 3 hours before departure. Researchers will compare a direct REM ride from downtown to the airport terminal with a combined metro bus option that threads through the Orange Line and the express bus to the airport. They'll also test a ride-share dash that picks up near Place des Arts, then hops onto the highway. Each test run will be timed, with the goal of shaving minutes off the typical 2-hour trek that commuters often endure. Results will be shared online later this evening, giving travelers a clear picture of the quickest path to the runway.
The city is gearing up to host the World Road Cycling Championships this September, marking the first time the island will stage the premier road discipline event. Officials project 550,000 spectators will line the streets, offering an unprecedented international showcase. For months, planners have mapped detailed traffic detours, bolstered BIXI stations, and coordinated police, fire and medical teams along a course that will thread through historic neighborhoods, the green slopes of Montreal and the waterfront. Temporary road closures will be in place on major arteries, while shuttle services will ferry fans between key hubs. Local businesses are preparing for the influx, and volunteers are being recruited to assist with crowd management. The logistical effort aims to ensure smooth rides for athletes and safe viewing for the expected crowds.
Health officials confirmed today that reported cases of anaplasmosis are climbing across the province. The tick-borne infection, transmitted through the bite of infected black-legged ticks, has shown a steady rise since the start of the season. While still less familiar than Lyme disease, anaplasmosis often produces more severe symptoms, including fever, chills, muscle aches, and fatigue that can develop within a few days of exposure. Physicians are urging anyone who has spent time in wooded or grassy areas to monitor for signs and seek prompt medical evaluation if a tick bite is suspected. Early treatment with antibiotics can reduce complications. The Provincial Health Ministry issued an advisory this morning, highlighting the need for heightened awareness as warmer weather extends tick activity into higher elevations. Public health agencies are increasing surveillance and reminding residents to use protective clothing, apply repellents, and perform thorough tick checks after outdoor activities.
Shemba Samuel and the Ngok-Tungia Cultural Association are hosting the 12th annual Cameroonian Cultural Day in La Salle, a 2-day celebration running today and tomorrow. The festival showcases traditional music, dance, food, and crafts, inviting residents to experience the richness of Cameroon's heritage. Organizers say the event highlights the community's diversity and aims to share that vibrancy with the wider city. Over the weekend, performances will take place on the Laflamme waterfront pavilion, while a marketplace offers authentic dishes such as endolé and grilled plantain. Family-friendly workshops on drumming and textile weaving are scheduled throughout the day. The association has coordinated the celebration each year, growing attendance and participation with each edition. Visitors are encouraged to explore the program and meet the volunteers who keep the tradition alive. The Laflamme Park setting provides a scenic backdrop, and the festival adds to the island's cultural mosaic.
Later we'll hear how Donald Caron, illustrator, will be honored at a Fantasia Festival lecture on July 20. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back, everyone. That was a quick break. Up next, Jeff Laflamme brings you the latest local stories you need to hear.
Yesterday, the Quebec government gave the green light to a major interior overhaul of the Olympic Stadium. The plan calls for a permanent roof to replace the aging retractable system that has long been plagued by leaks and mechanical failures. Officials say the new structure will seal the arena, allowing year-round events without weather interruptions. The renovation also includes upgrades to seating, lighting, and locker rooms, aimed at extending the venue's usability for concerts, sports, and community gatherings. Workers are expected to begin demolition of the old roof within weeks, a schedule that could affect traffic on nearby arteries and generate a modest number of construction jobs. The move follows years of public pressure to address the stadium's chronic maintenance issues and to secure its role as a reliable civic asset.
Tomorrow, the Fantasia Festival will host a free retrospective lecture honoring longtime illustrator Donald Caron. The event takes place at the York Amphitheatre on Concordia University's campus, giving film lovers and art fans a chance to hear about the posters that have defined the festival for over 29 years. Caron, who began designing the festival's visual identity in 1997, is being celebrated as the festival marks its 30th anniversary. Organizers say the lecture will showcase his evolution from early sketches to the bold graphics that now greet attendees each summer. Admission is open to anyone, and the open-air setting promises a relaxed afternoon for families and students alike. Local art students look forward to hearing Caron discuss his creative process. Mark your calendars for July 20th. It's a unique glimpse into the artwork behind Montreal's International Film Showcase.
Today, a lawsuit was filed against College de Montreal, alleging that a member of its staff repeatedly sexually assaulted students. The complaint, brought by a former student, claims the assaults occurred on multiple occasions while the victim was enrolled at the college. The plaintiff asserts that the institution failed to protect them and to act on earlier reports. College de Montreal has not publicly responded to the filing. The lawsuit seeks compensation for the alleged harms. Legal experts note that the case could prompt a review of campus safety policies across local post-secondary institutions. The suit adds to a growing number of allegations of misconduct within educational settings, raising questions about oversight and reporting procedures. Authorities have not indicated any criminal investigation at this stage. If the court rules in favor of the plaintiff, the college could face financial and reputational consequences.
Severe storms that swept across the prairies in June left a staggering insurance bill nationwide. The Insurance Bureau of Canada reports that the combined damage from high wind events in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, plus torrential flooding that swamped parts of the Montreal area, topped more than $1.1 billion in insured losses. Homeowners saw roofs ripped away, basements flooded, and power lines downed, forcing many families to seek temporary shelter and file claims. Businesses along the Red River and in the southern suburbs reported water-logged inventories and halted operations. Adjusters are still on the ground assessing damage, and insurers anticipate a prolonged period of claim processing. The scale of the losses underscores how quickly extreme weather can disrupt everyday life, from commuting routes to household finances. Affected neighborhoods are beginning to organize cleanup crews and local support networks.
The city's newest animal refuge is currently grappling with a surge in stray admissions. Pronoma, which opened earlier this year, reports that intake has climbed to roughly twice the volume it saw during the first half of the year, now reaching about 25 animals each day. Shelter staff attribute the spike to the recent wave of household moves, a period when owners frequently relinquish pets they can no longer accommodate. The influx strains volunteers, cages, and veterinary resources that were calibrated for a modest caseload. Officials note that the pattern mirrors previous moving seasons in other regions, where displacement drives abandonment. As the shelter works to accommodate the growing number, community groups are monitoring the situation and exploring additional foster options to ease pressure on the facility. Animal welfare advocates stress that timely adoptions could help reduce crowding and improve outcomes for the rescued companions.
Let's get a look at your afternoon forecast with our meteorologist today. A west-flowing jet and falling pressure are pulling a damp front across Montreal as rain tapers off. The all-time high for July 18th in Montreal sits at 31.1 Celsius,
recorded during the unprecedented heat wave of 2020. That surge broke a long-standing summer record and underscored the strength of a ridge aloft that month. The record low stands at 14 Celsius, set in the bitter cold snap of 2014 when an Arctic air mass surged southward. By contrast, today's climatological average high hovers around 22 Celsius with a typical low near 16, a modest swing from the extremes. On the live radar, the rain band stretches from the southwest across the island, its core still intense near the downtown core. The echo is moving eastward at a brisk clip, driven by the western jet that tops 136 kilometers per hour. At this rate, the heaviest showers will exit the city by early evening, with only lingering drizzle possible after 6 o'clock. At noon, the city sits under a light rain, with temperatures near 18 Celsius and humidity pushing 73%. A gentle southeast breeze at 12 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 28, keeps the air feeling slightly cooler than the dew point of 14 Celsius. Falling pressure and a powerful westward jet at 136 kilometers per hour are pulling a moist frontal boundary across the region, which is why the rain will taper off by early evening. After the front passes, skies will clear to overcast, allowing temperatures to climb to 22 Celsius by sunset. UV index remains at 1 and wind will peak at 23 kilometers per hour from the southwest. No alerts are active, so we transition to the extended outlook. Looking ahead, tomorrow brings a bright day with clear skies, a high of 24 Celsius and a low of 14 Celsius. Monday remains overcast, holding a high of 24 and a low of 15, as lingering moisture keeps the cloud deck thick. Tuesday sees a repeat of 24 Celsius at peak, but a low of 18 and a 50% chance of rain as a weak disturbance nudges the front eastward. Wednesday turns wetter, with a high of 23 and a low of 16, and a 45% chance of rain embedded in a slow-moving low-pressure system. Thursday finally clears again, offering a high of 22 and a low of 16 under a rebuilding ridge. The pattern swings between modest warmth and intermittent showers, a classic midsummer stretch for the region. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Heavy traffic slows the city, the Canadians trade Brendan Gallagher and NDG's Derghouse spotlights parking meter woes. More after the break, we will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Autoroute 40 between Repentigny and L'Assomption is under a major hindrance, collapsing traffic to a crawl. Expect queues extending for several kilometers and delays of 20 to 30 minutes eastbound and westbound. A secondary bottleneck remains at the L'Assomption exit 106, where a minor hindrance adds another 5 minutes of slowdown. Across the river, the Honoré-Mercier Bridge is operating with one lane each direction, creating a steady backup during the morning peak. Drivers should anticipate an additional 10 to 15 minutes to cross. In Vaudreuil-Dorion, Route 340 is closed entirely, diverting traffic onto Boulevard St. Charles and the nearby Autoroute 15, which are handling higher volumes but remain clear for now. On the transit side, the looming SDM strike has prompted the agency to preemptively cut several bus routes and reduce metro frequency on the Green Line, meaning fewer seats and longer waits at key stations. Commuters should plan alternate routes or adjust departure times accordingly.
Cirque du Soleil's Echo exhibition is lighting up the Time Out market now, a photo showcase that pulls back the curtain on the troupe's most secretive moments, perfect for anyone craving a splash of wonder without a ticket. The Nasty Show rolls into town, a review of Just for Laughs' notoriously filthy comedy series, giving fans a taste of the edgiest humor Montreal has to offer. Rackwellmeister's comedy is also on stage, blending rhythm and absurdity while demystifying trans experiences for mainstream audiences, an insightful laugh you won't want to miss. And if the weather turns gray, the Time Out Market's rainy day activities turn the downtown hub into a family-friendly playground, from free kids' crafts to a pop-up Cirque-style performance. Whether you're hunting culture, comedy, or a cozy indoor escape, Montreal has something to spark your Saturday. So grab a coffee, grab a seat, and let the city's creative pulse keep you entertained. And now here's Jason with sports.
Here's the latest on Montreal's teams, from the ice to the pitch. On June 29, the Canadiens sent forward Brendan Gallagher to Vancouver in exchange for future considerations, according to CBC Sports. The move marks a shift in Montreal's forward depth as the Canucks add a proven scorer, while the Habs look toward rebuilding assets. Montreal secured forward Kirby Dach with a one-year extension worth an average $3.6 million, avoiding the arbitration scheduled for early July, reports Habs' eyes on the prize. The deal keeps Dach in the lineup and provides salary cap certainty heading into the upcoming season. In Northern Super League action on July 12, the Montreal Roses edged the Halifax Tides 1-0 thanks to a 70th-minute penalty conversion by substitute Chloe Minas, CBC Sports reports. The lone goal secured 3 points for the Roses and kept the Tides searching for a response.
Durghouse, the beloved pet supply shop on Sherbrooke Street West in Notre Dame de Grace, has become the voice of a growing frustration. The borough recently installed new parking meters along Sherbrooke, and owners say the meters are scaring away customers and making quick drop-offs impossible for busy pet parents. Durghouse, known for its friendly staff and locally sourced treats, relies on walk-ins and neighborly errands, so the loss of easy street parking hits the bottom line and the community vibe. Merchants argue the meters were meant to boost turnover, yet they're throttling foot traffic instead. It matters because when a neighborhood's pet store struggles, the everyday rhythm of life in NDG slows down for everyone. And later, we'll celebrate the Cameroonian community's 12th annual Cultural Day in La Salle, a vibrant showcase of music, dance, and pride.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMNA for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
Tonight, Parc La Fontaine becomes an open-air theater, offering a free screening of a beloved Quebec classic with English subtitles, perfect for families enjoying summer under the stars. Crowds gather on the lawns as the scent of popcorn drifts through the air. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks CJ Waterhouse. I'm standing on the soft, grassy slope of Parc La Fontaine, the sky already deepening to indigo as the sun dips behind the historic oak trees. A modest stage of white sheet draped over a portable screen glows, casting a gentle light on the sea of blankets and folding chairs gathered here. The scent of fresh-cut grass mixes with the faint aroma of popcorn from a nearby vendor. Families, couples, and seniors chat in both French and English, their voices rising in anticipation. Tonight, the Borough of Le Plateau Montréal presents the Cinéma sous les Étoiles series, offering a free screening of a beloved Quebec classic with English subtitles. The film will begin at 9 o'clock, but the community has already claimed their spots, arriving by 8:15 to claim the best view. It's more than a movie. It's a reminder that shared culture can bring a neighborhood together under the stars. Carl Dumont, virtually at Parc La Fontaine.
On a crisp Saturday morning in the Mile End, the sound of a marching drumline drifted from the local community center where a handful of Montreal Alouettes fans gathered for a special preview of the upcoming Calgary showdown. Coach Jacques Blaise arrived with a signed jersey for every child, and the air filled with the smell of fresh coffee and sizzling poutine. 12-year-old Maya clutched a handwritten invitation from a Calgary volunteer, her eyes widening as she read that a group of local families would travel to the Rockies for the game, with all expenses covered by a community fundraiser that raised more than $5,000. The moment the first ball was tossed in the makeshift scrimmage, laughter erupted and a shy boy in a red jersey finally whispered, "I'm going to be a quarterback." By the time the sun set over St. Laurent, the volunteers had packed dozens of signed memorabilia into a bright orange bus, ready to head west. The story isn't just about a football match, it's about a city that turns a rivalry into a shared adventure, reminding us that sport can bring strangers together.
On a crisp Tuesday morning in the historic heart of Westmount, the council chambers filled with a quiet buzz as residents gathered for a routine public hearing. Mayor Michael Stern sat at the polished oak table, his notebook open beside a steaming mug of coffee, while members of the Quebec Municipal Commission took their seats opposite him. The room, framed by tall windows that overlook the leafy boulevard, felt unusually intimate as the commission presented a list of 7 alleged ethics violations, a matter that could have cast a shadow over the town's reputation. What followed was a measured exchange. The mayor listened attentively, asked precise questions, and acknowledged the commission's role in safeguarding public trust. A longtime volunteer, Marie-Claude, whispered to a neighbor that she appreciated seeing their elected official engage so openly, a reminder that accountability can be a community's strength rather than its fracture. When the meeting concluded, the mayor stood, thanked the commission for their diligence, and pledged to implement the recommended reforms, inviting residents to join a series of open-door workshops on municipal transparency. In that moment, the spirit of Westmount's civic pride shone brighter than any headline. A city that confronts its challenges together remains a place where confidence can grow.
Thanks, Montreal, for joining us on the lunch break. Tonight's look at the night sky mural on the historic barn reminded us how art can illuminate our shared history. Stay tuned again tomorrow for more stories shaping our city. I'm CJ Waterhouse, signing off. See you then.